Damon Hill profile. While the name may have helped Damon Hill get into Formula One, it was his ability that won him his world championship. Hill was just 2 years old when his father Graham won his first title, and following in his footsteps means they remain to this day the only father-son pairing to become the Formula One drivers' world champion. Hill was never overly interested in four-wheeled racing, instead much preferring motorbikes as a child. After the sudden death of his father in a plane crash in 1975, Hill was forced to have to provide for himself financially from a young age. One of his early jobs was as a motorcycle courier, and more time on a bike eventually saw him start racing at the relatively late age of 21. With his mother unhappy at the dangers of racing on two wheels, she persuaded him to take a course at the Winfield Racing School in France. He managed to get drives intermittently until 1985 when he was able to get together enough sponsorship for a season in Formula Ford, and his career in cars had begun. He made a solid if unspectacular start in a Van Damon, winning 6 races. Hill made the same sort of progress in Formula 3, displaying hard work and endeavor but not being rated too highly. He showed enough promise to gain the drive in F3000 though, and although he didn't win the race, he took 5 pole positions to display his competitiveness. It was enough to impress Frank Williams, who put the fact that he was a tough bastard ahead of any racing record, and took him on as a test driver in 1991. His first opportunity in Formula One came with the declining Brabham team the following year. Although in an uncompetitive car, he managed to qualify for 2 Grand Prix, including his home race which Nigel Mansell won in the Williams. Hill had helped to develop. Further testing mileage in the Williams meant Hill was given the race seat at the end of the season when Mansell moved to an IndyCar. 3 wins in his first full season at the age of 33 showed further promise, and following Ayrton Senna's death at Imola in 1994, Hill took over a role of lead driver. Despite being well over 30 points behind Michael Schumacher, victory at the British Grand Prix coupled with Schumacher's disqualification and subsequent banning meant Hill took the title battle down to the final race after his 6th win in Japan. The Adelaide decider will be remembered for all the wrong reasons though, as Schumacher and Hill collided, handing Schumacher the championship by 1 point amid accusations that he deliberately caused the incident. Hill had to make do with runner-up to Schumacher again in 1995, taking only 4 wins in what was widely regarded as the quickest car on the grid. Under some pressure, Hill responded the following season by winning 4 of the opening 5 races. His form dropped off towards the middle of the year though, and rookie teammate Jacques Villeneuve took the championship all the way to the last round in Suzuka, where Hill comfortably won to finally take his place among the world champions. Those dips in form had led Williams to lose faith though, and by the time he won his title it was already announced that he was to be replaced. Hill joined Arrows where he suffered a miserable season, failing to start the first race in Melbourne. He had to wait until the British Grand Prix to score his first point, and then pulled out a remarkable drive in Hungary, leading comfortably before getting stuck in second gear and losing the lead on the last lap before salvaging second place. In 1998 he made the switch to Jordan, and managed to turn the team into regular points scorers before taking their first ever win as they secured a 1-2 at Spa. Having finished 6th in the championship, hopes were increased for the following year, but a poor campaign followed and Hill retired at the end of the season. Strengths and weaknesses: his hard work ethic, dignity and decency earned him one of the best cars of his era and made him a fantastic team player. But he couldn't always back it up with the types of performances that saw Schumacher beat him to consecutive world titles in 1994 and 1995. Career high, securing his 1996 world championship at the last race in Suzuka, having already been dropped by his Williams team for the following season. Career low, losing teammate Ayrton Senna to a crash at Imola in 1994. Quotes: "You should never feel comfortable. There is something wrong if you are. You should always feel under threat, on the edge of your seat and pushing yourself. Win one and you want to win more. It's never ending." Damon has proved himself to have more integrity and dignity in his little finger than most people have got in their whole body. Hill's wife Georgie after Damon was dropped by Williams. Trivia: Hill plays a guitar solo in the song Demolition Man on the Def Leppard album Euphoria.